All right, subscribers. Recently, I've been getting some requests to do top 10 cities in America to study. So let's say the top 10 cities to study in America. And I'm going to tell you why I don't do these top 10 countdown lists. I know that, it helps out with the YouTube algorithm and you guys to come in and figure out where you want to study. Now, the reason why I don't do this is because every city is going to have something for somebody. So, for example, my number one school area that I would want to go to school with is the Washington, D.C. area. And the reason why is that I'm from that area. I grew up around it. So I'm familiar with it. Are there other areas which might be top, areas depending on what you're looking for? Perhaps. But I try to tell you guys, don't get all involved in this, the top schools to go to or the top areas to go to, because you may go to an area and you find something there that maybe no one else did, but you like that. Things always put into perspective. You're looking at weather, people, diversity, food, access to airports. Remember I told you that some people like rural, some people like suburban, some people like city. There's a difference. So this is why I really do these top 10 rundowns. And I think that what happens is that students want to be able to go there and make a choice. They want you to make a choice for them. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to make a choice for you, because generally when you make choices for people and then those choices don't work out, they're going to blame you anyway. So you have to do your own due diligence and figure out where you want to study and what you want to do. Don't come to me with that. So I think that it's very important to go through the criteria list that we were talking about before. What do you like? Big schools, small schools, private schools, public schools, diversity. Do you like snow? Do you like heat? All these things here are going to factor in. So somebody who may have came up in the mountains of, Uzbekistan is used to maybe cold weather and snow, or Kazakhstan, one of those other places. He might go to Minnesota and feel that he's fine because Minnesota's cold. There's snow, there's bears, there's frozen lakes, all that stuff. Where somebody may come from the Gulf countries like, listen, I'm not trying to go there. It's cold, it's frozen, everything. I want to be in Florida where it's sunny and they have beaches and all sorts of stuff. So it depends on what's going to be right for you. I personally think that there is a school for everybody. There are 4,000 schools plus schools in America, at least. One of them is for you, will fit in there. Maybe two of them, maybe three. All right. Another thing that happens is that just because you started a school doesn't mean that you have to finish there. Okay. You may start off at Wake Forest and then maybe have to transfer to University of Colorado, depending on what happens. Or you may go to one school for undergrad and then maybe you want to go to law school or something else. You might go to another state. All right. And sometimes this is good going to these diverse areas. So what I'm saying is that don't get all hung up on these top 10 lists. Oh, the top 10 best places to live, the top 10 best places to go to school, the top 10 engineering schools, ever like that. All right. I mean, granted, you can look at them here, but I'm saying nothing is etched in stone. Most of these videos are opinions anyway, based on a little bit of research. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to make that decision. So don't come to any of these pages, whether it's me or any other YouTubers or bloggers, and try to have them make a decision for you. You could take the data, compare the data, and figure out which works for you. Now, how does it work once you get to America? You touch down in America, you get out the plane, you say, I'm here, you're away from your family, all right? You come here for 2-3 months and you figure out, I don't like the place. I want to move. I don't want to be here. I'm homesick. I want to go home. Happens many times. People come to America, they're not expecting, they don't know what they're expecting, and then they get homesick or they just don't like the area. So this is why I say it's important to do as much research as you can before you even get on that plane, before you even touch down. All right, because you can save yourself a lot of money, a lot of heartache, and a lot of pain if you just go through the steps we talked about. Step 1, what area would you like to be in? Step 2, what size college are you looking for? Are you looking for small, 1,000 under, large, 25,000, 45,000? We look at schools like Ohio States and the Marylands and and these schools that have huge student populations. Some schools up to 45,000 students. Me personally, I don't want to be in a school with 45,000 people. That's like the size of a small city. However, you may look at a school with 1,000 kids and you find out like, hey, I'm going to get more of a personal approach to a teacher. The ratio of students to teacher might be 5-1, 6-1, 10-1. What do you think the ratio for teachers to students are going to be in a big school like Rutgers or the Ohio State or UCLA or University of Texas. These are huge schools. You're going to be like a little ant. No one's going to notice you. All right. So if you're the type of person, you need that attention, you need the teachers in your face, you need to be going to office hours as much as possible, then you want to look at the smaller schools. If you're the type of person that kind of just does your own thing, you don't need a lot of stuff, but you like big crowds, you like the semi-city life and things like that, then those big urban campuses are for you. But you have to figure it out before you get there, because sometimes people get anxiety attacks. I've seen it before. You go to a campus, it's 45,000 people from different places. You hear them in different languages and everything, and you don't know how to act. So I think that it's very important for you to do all these things before you get there. All right. Now, when it comes down now in your schools, let's say you apply to 15 schools, and you get to all 15. Now you're going to go to your first choice, your second choice, your third choice. You're going to start comparing your financial packets. Who's giving you more money? Who's giving you less money? All right. You have to look at these type of things. How long are the semesters? What's your breaks? Do they offer work study? You know, all these things, because you very well might get into all 10, 15 year schools. I know a person that applied to 20 schools and got into all 20 schools. All right. Now he's in a situation to figure out which school I want to go to. His number one choice, he figured out like, hey, I don't know if I want to go there anymore because I found out my number 2 choice has this or my number 3 choice has this. All right. This is what we call a good problem because you have choices. And at the end of the day, it comes down to the money. Who is giving you the money, or the bread, as we say in English? Who's giving you the money? Because this stuff is expensive. You're looking at some schools that are $80,000 to $100,000 a year by the time you deal with all your expenses. Now, if your government's paying for that or the military's paying for that, kudos to you. But for most of us, we're paying out of our pocket, or we have to go to the banks to get some money. And I always tell international students, be careful of these predatory loans, these loans that the banks give you, or these loans, these student loans, we call them. All they're going to do is just rack you in debt. Now, some people have to get it. Okay. But me, I'm a big proponent of finding free money out there. There is grant money out there. There is scholarship money out there. The majority of the people are too lazy to look for it, or they just might not qualify because their grades aren't good enough. All right. I saw one time where these parents are sitting there trying to figure out, these American parents as well, how am I going to pay for my kids' tuition? School's too much money. I have a savings account. How about this? You tell little Johnny go to school and get straight A's, and I guarantee you that he's going to get scholarships. He's going to get scholarship offers. It's a no-brainer, all right? But if your kid's in school being haphazard, half-assed doing the work, and you expect him, he crawled out of high school, and you expect him to go to university and be a great university student, he might need to chill out for a little bit, all right? Because if you did horrible in high school, and then you think that you're going to go overseas and study English and study school with the English medium in a language that's not your native language, and you were getting F's and D's in your late native language, and you think you're going to come over here and do great, you might want to save your money. So these are all things that we have to look at before we take that journey. All right. So please, once again, these top 10 lists, you're going to see a bunch of them. And the top 10 lists are good, especially if you just want to get a comparison of some of the schools. But, you know, at the end of the day, you can't really judge off that. So if you notice, a lot of the information I get is from U.S. News. I like U.S. News, like the way it's set up. But sometimes the U.S. News, the information they give, I take with a grain of salt. They have the school ranking and the program ranking, and, you know, and then some people look at that and they act like that's like a serious authority. No, the authority is after you go take a look at it and figure out if you want to go there in the first place. All right. So don't get too bent up over these things, watching a million YouTube videos and getting confused. And you're crying because your parents don't know what to do and you don't know what to do. All right. Take it easy. Have your 15 schools. Let's go through them. See if you can get in. And then once you get in, let's see if you can get some money. Where's the money? It's partial scholarships, full scholarships. Remember, internationalstudent.com has a whole bunch of scholarships. And remember as well, a lot of schools automatically match you up to scholarships. All right. They match you up. But also be careful. Remember, we were reviewing some of the schools, and some of the schools said, we provide scholarships for undergrad students that are from America, but outside we don't. But then another school says we provide it from everybody. I think Seton Hall said that. As long as you're eligible, you know, you qualify for it. So you want to look at those schools that are going to look out for you. If English is your second language and you're having problems and you need some reviews, a lot of these schools have English labs on campus. So you want to make sure you're utilizing these labs. All right. Questions, comments, short speeches, let me know. Like, subscribe on the bottom. We'll talk later. Have a good day.